That was 15 minutes backwards and forwards, fast running, slow running, a couple of little walks in between. That gate there is 2.4 kilometres, nearly exactly, and my timer went off at that tree just there, which meant that I was literally, 50 metres at best, at worst, from having a 15-minute 2.4k run over what is not a running path, to say the least. There are all sorts of hills and fun things to run up on my little path, which slowed me down tremendously. Come here, dog. Go. Good girl. Yeah. Just have a bit of a walk and cool down. Say hello. Don't know what I've got to tell you. Oh, I do have one thing I've got to tell you. So I listened to the Joe Rogan Experience podcast with a bit further back. There you go. Slightly more head in the shot, less beard. I listened to the Joe Rogan Experience with Russell Brand yesterday morning and the last 2 mornings at work. So I got like an hour and a half at work where there's no one there. So I listened to that. That was really informative and a really interesting breakdown. It's interesting to see the change that's happened in Russell Brand from 10 years ago, knowing who he was and what he was doing with things like Big Brother and just being this celebrity for no real account apart from his language skills. He was famous for being famous. He was famous for being a wild child, a party animal. He wasn't famous for anything else. It's nice to see that what he's done with it, though, is to turn around and do, I think, an awful lot of self-introspective thought and find a lot more meaning in and of himself and in and of other things. It was really interesting to hear him talking about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and what he's been doing and his thoughts on that. That was really informative. Also listened to this morning the first half of I don't know what it's called. It's like Jocko Willenick's like spoken word audio CD. It's not really a CD anymore. CDs don't exist. But you know what I mean, like audio podcasty thing. There's 1 or 2 or 3 of them up. I was listening to that at work this morning, which was very interesting. I think as with everything, take the nugget of wisdom you see. There was certainly a lot of nuggets of wisdom in there, but as with everything, you can see where the negative, as a quote unquote grown up, I can see where the negatives would come in and how people would take that and misuse it for acting like an asshat towards others, from this belief they have in themselves. It's nice to see my glasses have got really fogged up from running. It's nice to see the interaction between those two ideals. Brand on one side, Willenick on the other. They're both striving for the same purpose. In Australia we'd say to make yourself more deadly. Deadly in a good way, not deadly like a snake is. Supple. It's a colloquialism. It's a slang term from Aboriginal culture to be deadly. It means to be cool, to be stand out from the crowd. To be one among many who can do something. But yeah, it's interesting to see them both, strive to be more deadly in how they portray that to others. How they voice that. And I think you could probably learn, most certainly I have, from both of those streams. Sometimes you just got to tell yourself to hurry the fuck up and start running again. And sometimes, you've got to be accepting, not accepting, be aware of the fact that you failed, and then have enough courage to do something about it. That was not my best run by any stretch of the imagination, but I certainly didn't fucking fail. Failure was me 6 weeks ago not getting the fuck off the couch, and not going for a run. Now I've got it easier than someone like V does, because I'm not overweight. You know, I'm smack bang on the money at 80 kilos. Yeah, you know, I eat pretty well, right? You know, we all have shit days. You know, so you could certainly do with cutting out any beer from work, which has been a, you know, I go through fits and starts. But I've certainly cut down what I do drink. You know, as now I'm normally 1 beer a week. You know, on my off day, and not 3 beers every shift, which has made a tremendous difference to my waistline, but hasn't made any difference to my weight, funnily enough, because I've converted literally all of that into something far more useful. You know, this is not to say I do not have a stomach on me. I still have a stomach on me. Yeah, I am still acutely aware, as I think every single male of my generation is, I do not look like He-Man. I don't know what the next generation's He-Man is. I'd be interested to know. You know, I was born in 1980, give or take. You know, I'm a child of the 80s, and you know, all of those, you know, for want of a better word, I'm going to blame Mattel because that's the one I remember. All of those Mattel characters, all of those characters were all based around this idea of looking like, to put it simply, looking like Mr. Universe, which is a very hollow dream. Mr. Universe is not very he's not very fit. Mr. Universe can't take on the universe, you know. Yeah, I don't think that's what I'm trying to say is that's not a valid viewpoint for yourself, but it's one which I still hold for myself. It's weird, I know. It's like that thing that Zach was talking about, V was talking about previously, where, you know, someone's told you repeatedly smoking is bad for you. You know, don't eat shit food. You know, don't do this. Get some fucking exercise. Do martial arts. Do all this stuff. Yeah. But it takes up here and in here realization that you have to change that thing. You are the only person who can make you get off the couch. You know, I can make you get off the couch. Yeah. You know, I'm fully qualified to make anyone get off the couch. Yeah. But that doesn't make them do it the next day, the next day, and the next day, and the next day. And you very quickly run into people who just won't, not can't, it's won't. They won't do that thing for themselves. Yeah? You have to want to do it. You have to want to do it. Yeah? I have to want to go for a run. I do want to go for a run. I quite enjoy going for a run now, weird enough. Everything fucking hurts, but everything always hurted when I went for a run. You know, it's never not hurt when I went for a run. It just still hurts, but it doesn't hurt any more than it did previously. As says now, you know, now I have that mantra, you know, pain is weakness leaving the body. You just tell yourself that every time something hurts. Pain is weakness leaving the body. Yeah, you can express it by screaming about it, having a flap and crying and doing all the rest of it. Yeah, or you can use that little bit of gumption you've got in you. You know, admit the fact that it fucking hurts to yourself. Admit the fact you're in pain, and then say, but I'm not going to let it overcome me. You know. Yeah, I still don't look like Mr. Universe. That's okay. You know, I will before I die. I hope. You know, get to that level of let's say combative training that says that I am, you know, more deadly than I was before. You know, I hope that I can squat. I hope that I can press, and I hope that I can deadlift. You know, an amount that is equivalent, let's say, to what it should be, comparative to the normal behaviour of others. Yeah, there's a thing called a strength table, and it tells you what category you're in depending on what you can lift. And what I hope to do after this finishes is just start working my way up that ideal. That's my plan anyway at this stage. I'd also like to do some martial arts. But I do live in bumfuck Victoria, and that means that everything is a drive away. Normally a long drive. Yeah, it is not at my local PCYC. Which makes it very annoying. Get the fuck off me, whatever the hell you are. Pardon my French. Come on, dog. Yeah, so today's Friday. I should have done this run on Wednesday. That would have helped me a lot, I think. Wednesday was a nightmare because everyone in my house has got the flu. Or is coming down with the flu. Or is feeling generally unwell from the flu, or because of dealing with someone else having the flu. I certainly felt it last night. I got everyone fed, and that was a struggle. And then I just had to lie down on the couch for 10 minutes and just fucking chill out. Because it was just like, I either need to lie down, shit started to hurt. I don't think shit's hurt from me cooking dinner, and doing a normal day service at work. The shit was starting to hurt yesterday. But just by listening to what the fuck was going on and going and laying down for 10 minutes, I then woke up, came out here and walked bloody 5k at 10 o'clock last night in the fucking Arctic weather. Pardon my French, sorry, I swear, professionally. I have the language of a drunken sailor, to say the least. I do apologise. Something I have to change myself, make myself more like that competitive person that I wish to be. Stop swearing. It's been a long road for anyone who's known me for a long time. Don't teach your children to swear. Teach your children to use language, and then teach them what all those words mean, and then say to them, and you can quote me on this, that other people will judge you by the language that you use. So if you come over as a sweary shouty person, they will view you as a sweary shouty person, and they will look at you and they will judge you by that. If you speak, I wouldn't say with kindness, if you speak eloquently without the swearing business, then people will judge you as being eloquent, and that will make your life a megaton easier. Just a megaton easier. It's that thing of like, if you look like the kid that's going to get picked on, or the person who's going to get bullied, you will be the person who is going to get bullied. Yeah? And it doesn't take much to turn that around. I'm going up here. Where is my dog though? You've gone the wrong way! Come here! Yeah, there's an important truth for you, which doesn't mean you always succeed. There's always someone there who's going to judge you. That didn't take me anywhere. That was the wrong path. I literally ran a little tiny loop. That was a crap loop. Dog was correct this time round. She's not normally. That was the path I was after. That one in there. Go left. Good dog. Yeah. So, yeah, people will view you by your mannerisms, the way you look, and maybe that's incorrect in their part, but it's, that is the way in which human society is structured. We literally, without it, we unconsciously, we look at people and we assess them for being, dangerous, for being someone scary, for someone who we might be able to take advantage of. It's all unconscious, on an unconscious level. Yeah, and some people harness that and do evil shit with it. And some people realise what it is and try and stop themselves from doing it. They try and change that thing, change that reporting in their head. Pepper, come here. That's where racism comes from. That person is different from me. They look different from me. Therefore, they are scary. They sound different from me. They speak differently to the way all of the people that I know in my family tribe, they speak differently. Yeah? That's where that fear comes from. It is fear. Yeah? And it's something that you can not fear. Because it's something you can work on. If you put small children in a group where everyone looks different, then, and you train them, yeah, if that's their normal peer group, then they will often, 99% of the time, they will grow up not fearing anyone of the colour of their skin, which is a wonderful thing we can give the next generation of people on this earth. Because, irrespective of what some fucking idiot from 20 years ago says, we are all essentially the same. We are all essentially, so similar as to be, the dissimilarity in us is so bizarrely small that it makes no difference. The dissimilarity comes in because we view ourselves as being dissimilar to one another, not because we are. And the way we treat people because of the colour of their skin is just abhorrent as a thing. Because this person looks different from me, I get to, put them into slavery. Because this person is different to me, I get to treat them like shit. I get to beat up on them. I get to, treat them as the underclass in the current capitalist system. Think that shit's gonna last? I'll tell you it's not. Yeah, that shit lasts and we all fucking die. That's a very short road to the death of humankind. Oh, look at that. There's some training for you. I didn't say mankind, I said humankind. Yeah, we're all men. More women than there are men in the world. Probably a good thing, really. Yeah. What was I going to say? Oh, I was going to say fear. So, something that always reminds me of that fear. There was, it must be 10 years ago now. And Bear Grylls, who I don't particularly like for his, his over dramatisation of things. He annoys me with his dramatic persona. But I get he has to sell TV programs. That's his job. You get to come for a walk with me, or you get boring shit happens. Talk about stuff. You go for a walk with Bear Grylls, and you eat fucking snakes, and make cow dung tea or something. Ugh, cow dung tea. Cow dung is awfully good for burning in stoves if you dry that though. Just ask the whole of India. Good fertiliser too. Anyway, Bear Grylls back in the day, he did a thing called Escape to the Legion. It was a TV series. It was Channel 4. I think it was maybe 5 episodes. I think it was on YouTube. Very interesting thing. There was a bunch of publicity regarding that, and that publicity was talking about how they had this little, one of the corporals, one of the training staff came along, and he was disgustingly homophobic, like just to the point of, stupidity, But that all comes from fear, to be scared of someone. Come here. We're going to turn around to someone back there. I'm going to break my concentration. Already did. That comes from fear, and it was very obviously fear. Fear because of someone else's sexuality. You're concerned because someone else wants to sleep with someone who they're attracted to. Hang on a second. We should have left this shit along. We should have left this shit behind an awful long time ago. Yeah. If that person floats your boat, that person floats your boat. Yeah. And as long as you're not in a dangerous situation for yourself, and as long as you're not putting that person in harm, then there's really nothing wrong with it. That should be the rule. Are you putting yourself in danger? Don't do that shit, man. There's levels of danger you're acceptable. Jumping out of planes, that shit's acceptable danger. Rock climbing, that shit's acceptable danger. Going and climbing up big fucking mountains, when you're trained hard, that shit is acceptable behaviour. Yeah. Putting yourself in abusive relationships, that's just dangerous. That's properly dangerous. Yeah. And you can see in this corporal's attitude, this person's attitude. I think he was ex-special forces in the American military, right royal, just like, everything, supremely strong person, supremely strong-willed and disciplined in terms of what they did. But what did they do with that? They just abused someone who'd come along, someone who was gay, went along and, took part in this experiment, for want of a better word, this training ideal. They took part in it, and, he was a gay man who was quite happy with himself, and he went there to basically prove that, to himself that he could do it, I think, but more so to prove that, that gay people could. You've got to remember, within my recorded history, gay people were not treated very well in the military. They still aren't. But we're getting better. The likes of Chelsea Manning, has just shaken this world up. That's some fucking dedication. That's some fucking strength there. To turn around and say, this is what I'm going to go through, as a trans person, whilst I'm in the military, whilst I'm in fucking jail in the military, for not being an arsehole to the rest of the world. People should fucking fall down on their knees in front of that lady and fucking, bow their fucking head in shame for not trying hard enough. She fucking did. Yeah? She really fucking did. I hope that she is the right I think it is. I apologise if it's not. It's just one of those things. I will be confused to the day of my day of death. I think on that. You've still gone the wrong way. Every time. We come to a talk road. She chooses the wrong one. Pepper, come here. Go that way. The path less travelled is the one you want to travel, mate. Thank you. Because she has to run with me now. She knows she has to stay behind me because I want to bollock her for getting under my feet constantly. Fall over a dog. That's a fun fucking trick for a run. Fall over a dog. Because you feel bad because you fell over the dog and she fucking yelps at you. And you feel like the biggest idiot in the world because you're like, oh, I should just run past her. The problem is that dogs, as soon as you run, if your dog is, halfway to being well trained, they will work their way out of getting you under your feet as fast as possible. That's normally the direction that you chose to go to get around them. Yeah, funny thing. Where was I going with that? So trans people, homophobia, transphobia, all of those phobia things, they're all just fear, which is interesting and something you can work on. Fear of other people's religion, their other people's belief. That's just exactly the same thing, but on a different scale. Go and look up the Pew report. The Pew report says it shows, statistically, very, very, tight statistic analysis shows that the majority, the large majority of people, as we currently speak, this is 2019. Yeah, 2019. Oh, I'm 6 months off being 30. 40. Sorry. Soon to be old. Only 10 years and half a year. 10 and a half years. 10 and 1/2 years until I die. I always said I'd die at 50. I don't know why. I always thought I would. If I do die at 50, or just before I'm 50, then I predicted it right. Pepper! No, that's the really short path that doesn't go anywhere. I will not fall for the same trick twice. Especially not going the other way. Go and climb back up my hill. Yes. The Pew report says that without a doubt the majority of people, born into religion, stay that religion. So the reason why someone is Christian, their parents are Christian. And that is the biggest bringer of religion to this world. Yeah? The vast majority of people do not change religions, do not break the tie of their religion of birth. Yeah? Do not that was a blackcurrant there. There is a blackcurrant there. Well, hopefully blackcurrant season is soon. Tasty. We'll get this one. Yeah, so they will not break their religion. And all it comes down to then, you want to change the you want to do some unscrupulous eugenic type experiment. I don't like the word eugenics, but genetics is a false science. But whatever you want to call it, you want to do some mad level fucking rejigging of the society. All you have to do is make women educated, because as soon as you educate women, the rate of childbearing they have just plummets to nothing. You want to change the world, you give every single woman a fucking bachelor's degree in something useful. Yeah? You take the best of them and you say, now you do your masters. Yeah? No competition. Yeah? You want to do your masters, go and do it. You want to do your doctorate, go and do it. Yeah? And you will fundamentally change not only the landscape for women in this world, you will also fundamentally change the landscape for men in this world. That will change and revolutionise the world far more than anything else will. Where is my dog? I hope she's got the hill. Yeah, that was interesting. That was week 1. It's now week 12. I have not got my assessment in. I have to do that. Work and everything else always likes to interfere. I've done bugger all of my reading for next term, for next trimester. That was one of my plans for today, was to go home and read. That was an important thing that came up in Jocko's thing. It's like, the only person holding you back is you. Yeah? The only excuse you have is, that's you. That's your excuse. You know, there's yeah, okay, there's some things I can't fucking fly, yeah, but that doesn't mean I can't learn to fly. You know, not in a metaphysical, not in a physical sense. I meant in a learning sense. You know, flying a plane, for example, not literally flying, not breaking the laws of physics, the universe as they currently stand. Which is not to say they can't break the laws of physics. We do that quite regularly. More to say that that the you know, Newtonian mechanics works for most stuff. You know, bigger than an atom and smaller than a planet. Is it bigger than an atom and smaller than a planet? I think it's bigger than a sun. Might be smaller than a black hole. Fucking spiky bushes. Pardon my French. I've got shorts on. It's like 2 degrees. I've got shorts on. I'm wearing a jumper, and I just walk through that. You know, that's my reason for swearing. It's sharp. You know, you think it wouldn't be sharp, considering I can walk through it regularly. What is it, my leg now? But it is. My soft and delicate pins do not like it. Yeah, yeah. So go listen to Brand talking to Joe Rogan. That was interesting. You know, write down all those books that I thought was interesting from that, and maybe go and listen. Go and listen to the. I'm gonna say it's not a podcast. Go and listen to Jocko Willicks's albums. They're interesting. You know, take from it what you will. You know, he does premise that CD, that those sets of audio tracks really well by saying, you know, that you need to put your thinking hat on. You need to put your tinfoil conspiracy cap on your head, and you know, and take everyone else with a grain of salt. You know, people can be your mentors. That doesn't mean they haven't failed, and they won't fail. There's a great, if you haven't seen it, go and watch the new 2 seasons of Cobra Kai. I'm sure they're available somewhere that isn't on YouTube Premium. Go and watch those. A telling story of that idea. If you know the idea of the myth cycle, you know, if you just go and watch the original Karate Kid, and then go and watch the you know, why Tony LaRusso is the bad guy in the story video, which is very entertaining. But you know, that avenue is true. And then go watch Cobra Kai and see the portrayal of Johnny and what happened to him, and how he sort of fights back and what he does, what he changes. It's a really good show. I think it's been really, really well put together. I think it was timely in the terms of how it came back, and I really hope that has the same effect, if not more of an effect, in the current generation of, you know, adolescent people than what the Karate did back in the day. You know, the Karate Kid basically paved the way to people learning combative martial art, which was, that's a fucking good thing. You should know how to fucking defend yourself and other people. That doesn't mean you have to go and smash people's heads in like a fucking boneheaded fool. You know, but you should know, you should be more deadly than the drunk person at the pub. You know, you should take your lumps and accept them with great gratitude, yeah, and learn how to give them back out again with regular dose of humility, and only in a defensive nature. You know, be competitive in your defense. You know, be competitive in the defense of other people who can't be competitive or defensive for themselves. Yeah, you know. Ooh, big stick. Ooh, standing on the big stick, falling over the big log. There's a lot of logs on the track. Can't light a fire. This was firewood in the bush. I don't know what else I got to go. That was half an hour. Look, it's 29:24. We'll leave it there. I hope this was all some use. Thank you for coming with me for a bit more than 2.4k walk after my 2.4k run. Yeah, have a good day. Take care of one another. Take care of yourself. And I'll see you all next time. Ta-ra!